Welcome to Fun House for Learners. Today we are going to see the poem The Trees for Class 10 CBSE English. Let's have a small note about the poet. The poet Adrienne Rich of the poem The Trees is a feminist poet. And what do you mean by feminist? Feminist means a person who fights for the equal rights and opportunities of women in a society. So feminist is a person who fights for the equal rights and opportunities of women in a society. Okay, and this person can be a male or a female. Okay, you cannot tell a feminist will always be a woman. It is mostly women, but not always. A man can also be a feminist if he fights for the equal rights and opportunities of for the women in a society. Okay, now let's see the meaning of the first stanza. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. The forest that was empty all these days, where no birds could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. So the poet is telling there is a forest and that forest is empty all these days till this day, the day that the poet is mentioning. There are no trees in the forest. So if there are no trees in the forest, what would happen? Okay, a forest without tree. Okay, what would it be? No bird could sit. If there are no trees, where would a bird rest? Where would a bird build its nest? Okay, no insect hide. If there are no trees in the forest, where would an insect live? Where would it hide? Okay, no sun. Okay, no sun bury its feet in shadow. What do you mean by this line? Okay, no sun bury its feet in shadow. Okay, no sun bury its feet in shadow. Okay, so imagine there is a dense forest. Okay, there is a very dense forest. Okay, so what happens in a dense forest when the sun shines? Okay, when the sun shines, the light, if the forest is so dense, it will be penetrating through the little gaps that are present between the trees. Okay, and it will be entering, and there will be other small plants and small trees which the light will hit, and by the end on the floor only the shadow of these trees will be present. Only the shadow of these trees will be present, and there won't be any light reaching the floor. Okay, so the poet says, okay, in a forest that is filled with trees, the sun's feet will get the sun's feet. Okay, here the feet is the light of the sun. The feet is the light of the sun will get buried in the shadows of the tree. Okay, where in a forest where there are lots of trees. But here the poet tells, okay, here the poet tells, in the forest that she is mentioning, there are no trees. It is empty. Okay, so in such a forest, no sun can bury its feet in shadow. But she tells that forest won't be like that always. Soon it is going to be filled by trees, and very soon, because she is telling by morning it will be filled. Okay, now let's make an analysis of the poem. What does Adrienne Rich really mean by tree, and what does she really mean by forest? By trees and forest, Adrienne Rich actually talks about women and their condition. Trees stand as a symbol for women. Okay, trees in this poem stand as a symbol for women, and forest stand as a symbol for a male dominated society. Okay, here Adrienne Rich uses trees and forest as a symbol for women and a male dominated society. Okay, so she is comparing the forest without trees to a male dominated society. Just as a forest without trees will not have anything beautiful, like no birds, okay, no insect, no shadows. Just like that, a society dominated by men doesn't have any charm or beauty in it. And she tells it won't last long because the trees are going to enter into the forest by morning. So she tells it won't be like that. The society won't be like that for a long time because women are entering into the society. Okay, this is the introductory part of the poem. And now let's see the second stanza. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. Okay, I told she uses trees as a symbol for women. Okay, imagine this is a room in a house. Okay, this is a room in a house, and inside this room there is a tree. Okay, and this is the veranda. Imagine this is the veranda of the house. A tree will obviously have roots. Okay, the root is the one thing that will make it fixed to the ground. Okay, the root will fix the tree to the ground. Okay, but Adrienne Rich tells all night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. What these trees are doing, especially the roots of the trees, what are they doing? Okay, they are releasing their roots. Okay, they are releasing their roots from the cracks in the veranda floors. And why are they releasing? Okay, only then they can move. So she tells all night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. Okay, again I told tree is used as a symbol for women. So what she is telling through the first three lines of the second stanza is the women of the olden days are always kept inside the house. They were never allowed to have a career outside the house, but they too wanted to go out just like men. So for that, all these days they have worked. All these days, little by little, silently inside the house, they have worked and they have disengaged themselves, okay, from the house so that they too could move outside. The leaves strained toward the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof like newly discharged patients, half days moving to the clinicals. Imagine a tree is inside the house. Trees should actually be outside. It shouldn't be inside. But this tree is contained inside the house. Okay? Because in olden days women were not allowed to go outside and have a career. They were made to be inside. Okay? Imagine this tree has disengaged itself from the floor. Okay, and it is trying to move trying to move. But what happens, it is contained inside. So the leaves are straining, okay, the leaves are straining towards the glass, okay, maybe it has a window, it is straining towards the glass, means it is trying to get out, okay. Through the glass the tree can look what is outside, okay, and what are the opportunities that are outside, okay. There is a forest, and that is the place I have to be there, okay. So the trees are straining means pushing themselves, okay, pushing themselves hard, okay. And the small twigs which are stiff with the exertion, and the long cramped boughs, okay, since the tree has been inside the house, it has been cramped, okay. It has been cramped means it has been pushed so that it won't extend but contain inside, okay, contained inside, okay. And everything is shuffling under the roof, okay, moving here and there under the roof, because they have disengaged, the roots are disengaged, okay. And the tree wants to move out. This entire struggle of the disengaging of the roots, and the leaves straining towards the glass, and the small twigs stiff with exertion, and the long cramped boughs talk about the struggles of women to get out of the house and enter into the society. And now, okay, imagine this is the door, and now they have come out. They have come out. And how are they? They look like newly discharged patients, half dazed, moving to the clinic doors, okay. And how does these trees look, okay? These trees have never gone out, okay. Finally they get an opportunity to go out. Imagine you were never allowed to go out, and finally you are allowed to go out, and this is the first time you are seeing what is outside. You will be happy and elated, but you will also be little unaware of how to be outside. So just like a patient, okay, just like a newly discharged patient, half dazed, okay, half dazed means half confused, okay, the trees are moving to the doors, okay, the clinic doors, okay. So what does it actually refers? After a long struggle, the women have come out of the houses, okay, but after they have come out, they are not completely sure and confident. They are half dazed, okay, confused, but they don't stay in the same place. They move, okay, they move, and they move out of the veranda. And now the third stanza. In the third stanza, the poet tells, I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters, in which I scarcely mention the departure of forest from the house. So the poet Adrienne is telling, I am actually sitting, okay, inside and writing long letters, and in those letters I rarely mention about these, okay. So what Adrienne Rich actually tells us, like, there are lots of women who are now trying to come out of the houses and trying to get inside the society, okay, and they are fighting for their equal rights and opportunities. And I, who see this through my writings, okay, here writing long letters, okay, she tells, through my writing, through my contribution, okay, in the field of literature, I mention them here and there, and I help them, okay. She's telling, in all my writings I talk about feminism only a little, okay, and through that I help them a little. And now the next part. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the room, okay. She's telling the night is fresh, and the full moon shines in a sky that is open. The smell of the leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms, okay. She tells the night is fresh. Okay, it's not disturbed, it is fresh, and the moon shines brightly and the sky is open. The forest, okay, the forest inside the home, the forest inside the home, or the trees inside the home, or the women inside the home. Okay, they are departing. Okay, and they are departing into a night that is fresh and where the moon shines brightly in an open sky. Okay, she is telling like the women are entering into a society which has lots of opportunity and it is fresh. Okay, and she is telling they haven't gone out much. Okay, because she tells the smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. Okay, she tells the smell of these plants I can still, she instead of telling I can smell them, she tells I can hear them. Okay, so she tells women they have gone out of their houses. Okay, and they are entering into the society, but still they haven't gone further. Just now they have started their journey. Now the next part. Now the final part, completion of the journey. Okay, now Adrienne Rich, my head tells my head is full of whispers which tomorrow will be silent. Imagine you take your bike and go out in the at night to buy something. Till you come back, your mother will be very worried and she will be thinking whether you have reached safe or not. Just like that, Adrienne Rich, okay, is worried whether these trees have reached the forest. Okay, so she's telling my head is full of whispers. Okay, she's telling I have lots of thoughts because this is the first time these women are entering into the society. Will they be able to tackle all the problems? Will they be able to do all the things that they wanted? Okay, they still haven't entered, just now they are entering. Okay, so she has lots of she has fear and anxiety, and she also comforts herself by telling by tomorrow it will become silent. Okay, but she is confident if they reach, that's it, they will they will be successful. Okay, now she is telling, listen, the glass is breaking, the trees are stumbling forward into the night, winds rush to meet them, the moon is broken like a mirror, its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. Now she is telling, listen, everyone, listen, look, the women are coming into the society. Okay, the glass is breaking. Okay, the trees are stumbling forward. Okay, all every women are coming forward one by one. Okay, and they are entering into the society which is usually dominated by men. Okay, that's what she feels, and she tells winds rush to meet them. Okay, it's like telling she's telling like the society had always wanted this. Okay, by telling that wind rushed to meet them, she tells everyone wanted them to enter into the society. And she is finally telling the moon is broken like a mirror, its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. Okay, so the trees were walking into the forest in the middle of the night, and the tallest oak has hit the moon and it has fallen as pieces. Okay, the moon has fallen as pieces. Okay, the moon has fallen as pieces on the top of a oak tree. Okay, and these pieces look like a crown. Okay, so what Adrienne Rich means by the moon's broken pieces are flashing now in the crown of the tallest oak is like the women have overcome all the barriers. Okay, and the ones that were considered as barriers have become their very crown. The problem that
they faced, they overcame that problem, and that problem is now shattered, and the problem is now lying there on the top of their head, flashing. Okay, the their way of their act of overcoming the problem, that is the crown, that is the victory for them. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you found the explanation to be very beneficial. Feel free to comment on the video and do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.